Now, I've spoken about why I don't like Mario Kart 64. Now let's speak about why I do like Double Dash. So, Mario Kart Double Dash, an actually good game. Why do I like it? Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, it has a really good track selection. Its Rainbow Road is honestly one of the better ones in the series. It's like top 3. I really like Double Dash's Rainbow Road. Like, imagine when it came out and then playing on this Rainbow Road track and having the spiral. This was like before Mario Kart 8's anti-gravity. That must have been pretty cool. And this game is not, as you can probably tell by the fact I said that must have been pretty cool. This game is not from my era, you know. I'm just a bit past that game. But I've played it. I own a GameCube and all, you know. I own a GameCube. It's incredibly good. It is insanely good. I really like it. There's other tracks as well that are not just Rainbow Road, like Waluigi Stadium, which is just a really fun track. The music is fun, the gameplay is fun, it's just a really good track all around. Wario Coliseum. I'm pretty sure it's the only track ever to have only had 2 laps, which is honestly really good, and it's the, like, older, objectively better cousin to Mario Kart 64's Wario Stadium, because it's not stupidly long. The track is actually good. You can actually play on it. It's not, you know, bad. The track has a couple flaws in the fact that it can get a little bit repetitive at certain times, but it's always a blast to go through, and again, it's only 2 laps long, so, you know, there's not really that much, you know, even if you don't like it, it doesn't last too long. Also, Mario Kart Double Dash's Bowser's Castle is really good, like, really good. It's the first one that introduced the big Bowser thing that we see in Wii and in 8, and I honestly think it's done it one of the best. I personally think 8 is a little better, and I think Wii's is actually kind of lacking, which is surprising because that's my favorite Mario Kart. Either way, I think Double Dash does a really good... I think it does it really well in this regard. Additionally, Baby Park. Need I say much more? 7 laps, insanely short track, always getting hit by items, real fun, real chaotic. I don't actually really like the track that much because of how stupid it is. But, you know, it's still, you know, pretty fun and chaotic. I know other people like it as well. And finally, of course, Mushroom City! Still to this day, my personal favorite city track. You know, it's better than Toad's Turnpike, better than Moonview Highway, better than most 8 tracks. Well, the Booster Course Pass tracks, at least. Better than most of them. I really like Mushroom City. It's just, you know, the music for it fits it really well. You got all the cars going around. You got that stupid bug wiggler bus thing. I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but you got that thing. I hate it, but I also love it at the same time because it's just hilariously Nintendo. Really good track selection. Second reason as to why I like Mario Kart Double Dash. Character selection. This was the first game to introduce more than 8 characters, and it has some pretty decent picks. You've obviously got the basic ones you've had in previous games. Mario, Luigi, Wario, Bowser, Peach, Toad, and Yoshi. However, you've obviously got, well, a ton more. There's Bowser Jr. now, Birdo, you got Paratrooper, you got Koopa Troopa returning from the original Mario Kart. Like, it's packed full of other characters as well. PD Piranha, King Boo, the Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, Daisy. It's got like a whole ton of new characters, and really is the first Mario Kart game to have introduced this. This does put it kind of leagues ahead of any game before it. Now, I will say that other Mario Karts after it have had better rosters, mainly Wii and 8 Deluxe, kind of. 8 Deluxe, when you get Booster Course Pass, has got a better roster. Wii's got a better roster in general, though. But Double Dash's roster is actually really still quite good. It's got all the characters you'd really want to play as. There's only a few missing out. And most of those fan favorites were added in later Mario Kart titles. And keep in mind, before this, well, people only really had 8 characters to pick from, so this was still an improvement. Also, the kart selection. This is the first Mario Kart that let you choose what kart you wanted to have. Now, I will say its kart selection is... it's not the best. I'll give it that. It's not the best kart selection. But I will still commend it on the fact that it was the first game to have a kart selector in it, which is still pretty cool, especially considering, again, any other game beforehand, well, you couldn't choose your kart. Pretty much all I've got to say on that one. Number 3, why I think Double Dash is a really good game. It's graphics. Now, this is a pretty short one, but comparing Double Dash to Super Circuit 64 and SNES, which all came before it, it is like a massive leap forward. Even like between SNES and 64, which that was also a massive leap forward, SNES and 64 obviously, because you've gone from complete 2D to, wow, incredible 3D. Now you've gone from 3D, well, back to 2D for a bit with Super Circuit, but if you're not counting Super Circuit, you've gone from straight up 3D to really good 3D with a decent amount of detail and stuff in it, and you can, you know, see a lot better what's actually going on. And it's not using sprites like 64 is. Compared to its previous games, it's good, and honestly, I kind of think that compared to the game that came after it, Mario Kart Wii, Double Dash's graphics still look objectively better than Wii's graphics. Wii's graphics just, it's like Double Dash, but they've added a weird glare to it. I don't know, I just like Double Dash's, how it looks more. It just looks more appealing. My final point as to why Double Dash, I just like it. It's a good game. It's gameplay. It's got some of the best, in my opinion, some of the best gameplay out of any Mario Kart in the series. Any of them. It has really good items. The special items, I know some people complain about the special items because you'll have items like the triple shell and the golden mushroom locked behind certain characters, but I personally have never actually found that as much of an issue. The triple mushrooms are fine. Anyone can have those ones. And the golden mushroom just isn't as that much better than the triple mushrooms. And it's only really that useful if you're in, you know, last place always. The triple shell and the big banana are the ones that I'm always having because I always choose Power Trooper and Diddy Kong. I know some other people, like, you know, I get what you mean when you're saying, oh, well, I can't have these items, you know, items that you've been able to have in previous Mario Karts. And it's kind of annoying, but also kind of not, because it's a very few amount of items. Additionally, all the other special items are actually, I'm pretty sure, completely unique to this game, including the big banana, which I already mentioned. But the chain chomp, which would eventually get revised into the bullet bill. The Bowser shell, that's never returned. I think it returned in one of the arcade titles, or it wasn't, it might have been Tour. I think it was Tour. Either way, it returned in, like, one of those, but it's never returned in a mainline game. The hearts, the heart item with Peach and Daisy, that was a cool mechanic. You could, like, steal items from other players. That was an interesting mechanic. Or the Yoshi egg. It's like a red shell, but it hit you and then it released other items. It was cool. So, that caused for some, pretty chaotic gameplay. Obviously, the more chaotic items cause for, yeah, more chaotic gameplay, which I think is really fun. And despite the gameplay in Double Dash being really, again, chaotic, I think the game is actually one of the more balanced Mario Kart games. Like, compare it to what comes before, not Super Circuit, and what comes after, not really counting DS. Well, actually, yeah, counting DS. It's incredibly balanced compared to 64 before it, and Wii and DS after it. Double Dash is like perfectly balanced. The only other game I think comes near even close to Double Dash's balance in this time period is Super Circuit, and that's about it. No other game comes even close to Double Dash's level of balance. It is really well balanced. I've got to commend them on that. They balance the game really well, to the point that somehow Mario Kart Wii is more chaotic than it. The only difference is that Mario Kart Wii's chaos is the annoying, I've just been hit by 26 blue shells and there's nothing I can do about it, while their Double Dash chaos is like, well, everyone's been hit by items. So if everyone's being hit by items, well, it doesn't really matter at that point. I know, I really like its gameplay. The more chaotic nature of Double Dash, plus the fact that it's an actually balanced game, I really like that about it. Anyways, that is pretty much the whole video. Yeah, now I had noticed a lot of people don't like, well, not really a lot of people because I've got like 2 subscribers, but some people, like 5, didn't like the Mario Kart 64 video. And I'll be honest, yeah, some of you kind of had a little bit of a point. There was a small bit of a point some of you had. I definitely over-exaggerated some of the reasons, but keep in mind, when I over-exaggerate things, it is for comedy purposes only. I still hate Mario Kart 64 though.